Here we go, YouTubers. Good morning. Wednesday, 22nd December. Good lordy. Christmas this week. So let's get right to it. Frog Crunch. Everybody's favorite, right? Well, caffeine. You know, caffeine, number one misused, or most used drug. Misused. Yeah, number one. Soles of the feet together, knees wide. It does have some good things, though. Lots of bad things. 13 of these. Up and squeeze. Try to feel your back loosen as you squeeze your abs. Right? Everybody tells me they got a tight back. You should be able to feel a stretch in your back as you squeeze up hard. So tailbones and shoulder blades coming up. There was research many years ago, that suggested strongly that 200 milligrams of caffeine 20 minutes before you actually woke up, if you then exercised immediately, would help you burn more fat. Weird little study. But the idea of having a healthy shot of coffee as soon as you wake up, if you're doing a workout in the morning, is not a bad idea. Unless you don't tolerate caffeine. And what could that mean? What's not tolerating caffeine? Well, if it makes your heart race, gives you palpitations, makes you crazy, gives you gas, gives you diarrhea, that kind of things. You know, there's all kinds of sensitivities to caffeine. So, you know, if you use it, be aware of that. The best way to find out if it affects you negatively is to take yourself off of caffeine for a full 30 days. Let your body purge. Wild thing. Up and over. 8 of these each side. Remember your hand placement stays on the shoulder. You don't want to get wonky there. You want to keep the hips up. But if you quit caffeine for 30 days and come back to it, you'll notice some things probably. But the interesting stuff to note is in the second week of quitting, third week of quitting, if your diet's good and you're drinking plenty of water, you'll find you have as much energy as you need. The caffeine is not as critical as you think if you're eating well. So, why do I drink it? I like it. I've quit many times. I've gone through the headaches. It is a drug. It does create a bit of a dependency on you. And you'll know that as soon as you try to quit. You'll have a headache probably as early as the first afternoon. The second, third, fourth day can be pretty bad. And don't substitute in green tea. You gotta quit it cold. And then, you know, day 5 will be better. And it gets easier after that. Single leg deadlift, 1 arm row. Remember your orientation here, folks. I've got bell in my right hand. Left foot's going to stay on the floor. Hinge here. Do the row. Whoop. Come on back up. Make sure you come all the way back up. Okay? It's a little hard to see. All right. So down. Get the row. Somebody asked the other night, how far up should I pull the bell? Pull it up until the side of the bell hits you in the waist. Get your elbow back, shoulder back. You know, this is trying to pull your posture bad. Don't let it. Now, when you do reintroduce the coffee, by the way, no sugar and no cream. Find a good cup of coffee, enjoy it black. You may discover new taste buds. If you go to Dunkies, I'm sorry if you're a Dunkin' fan, but if you go to Dunkies and have their coffee black, you won't be pleased. Starbucks, Maybe, maybe not. Some of that's personal, but good coffee is good coffee. There is a difference. This time of year, a hot beverage is good in the morning. And there is something substantial to some coffee as opposed to tea. I've tried the tea thing. And coffee is definitely more robust. I once upon a time drank it light and sweet from Dunkin' Donuts. Extra larges. Then a real coffee shop moved into town. And I found out that I liked coffee without all that crap in it. Then I discovered espresso. That was like a hit of speed for a while. Caffeine doesn't affect me the way it used to. You do build up a tolerance. Most common concern, caffeine's going to dehydrate me. Well, caffeine does act as a diuretic, so it can dehydrate you. But if you've been drinking it for 6 months every day, it's not dehydrating you anymore. Simple solution to that is just drink more water. All right, what are we doing? Stability ball push-ups. I'm going hands-on ball because I've got a lot of achy stuff going on in here. I'm not going to push it. I'll push it with the bridge later. Throwing 13 here. Nice and easy. We're tapping down. Make sure your elbows are dropping back. You don't want to look like T-Rex here. You want to, it's almost like a reverse back row or TRX row or however you're doing your rows. Some fun cranking and popping in my chest. And a lot of people get stuck on this grip here. Hands on the sides of the ball. But you got to squeeze in, which is one of the prime jobs of these fan-shaped muscles called pectoralis major, or your pecs, as they pull the arm across the body like so. Now, we translate that into a push-up because I'm still bringing this arm from back here to here, right? So that's how it all ties together. But anyway, that squeeze force activates a little more work. All right, goblet squats and curls. Doing 8 reps. Been a hot minute since I did a curl with this big ball. All right, here we go. So come down to the bottom, elbows inside the knees, do a curl, come on back up. Nice and easy. This is not normally how I hold the bell, but this bell's a little bit different. Normally I would grab where this bolt is, it's hard to see, I'm sure, and around the bottom of the handles like so. But this bell doesn't really let me grip the ball effectively that way. I don't know if I was counting right. It was either 6 or 7. Let's do 2 more with the heck. There it is. Okay. Keep that kettlebell close. All right. Ab wheel. Remember to keep your glutes tight. Let's see. Your upper back, lats, chest, shoulder. They're creating the movement. Your pelvic tilt and your low belly clench, if you will, and locking up the pelvis there. That creates no movement in the spine, which is exactly what you want. Movement's coming from the shoulder joint. Everything else is stable. You may notice a little extra fatigue in your abs after doing the squat with the curl. coming into these. So just make sure you keep your butt tight. If you don't feel safe, don't get past 5. The goblet squat, that front-loaded squat, works abs much harder than most other squats, especially the back squat. Back squat, the weight's kind of balanced into a cantilever over your heels, which is why it's possible for you to lift more weight, because you're not as dependent on your core. Front squat, if you don't have that core firmly engaged, you fall over backwards. All right, so bridge or straight bridge. 8 reps, and the bridge up. What is the bridge up? So we all know the straight bridge. You can get started on those right away, right? The bridge up, it's a full bridge with a push-up. I'm not sure if my neck is going to let me do these right now. I did a few last night. But basic full bridge, best you can, and you lower your head to the floor, tap, and press back through. Best you can. And as you're pressing, think about pushing through your feet and your glutes, as well as your arms and hands. Squeeze the glutes. Push, push, push. Fudge. Ooh. Those are hard. Okay. Catch your breath. 2 get-ups each side. And you can do 2, then 2, or you can do 1, 1, 1, 1. I'm going to go 2, 2. Whew. Okay. Caffeine was definitely well studied for its sports use applications. And it can definitely give a lot of people a zip or pick me up before a workout, but they often come full of sugar and other garbage, those little caffeine drinks. So stay away from them. Then they started adding stuff to them like taurine, etc. And those little energy shots may or may not be a good thing. Watch out if they use niacin. Just be prepared for a weird sensation, a flush through the body. But most of that stuff is not recommended for people who have, well, a lot of different issues. I mean, anything where you've got elevated respiration rates or heart rates, like high blood pressure or a higher heart rate, a high low or a high resting heart rate kind of thing. Things like caffeine and those other fun things like taurine and niacin might not be recommended for you at all. Caffeine is, caffeine, nicotine, they're usually one of the first drugs most doctors try to get us off of these days when we set foot in our offices. I'm always asked about nicotine, caffeine. Oh, fudge. Yeah, that was fun. What am I doing? Going back and forth, aren't I? It's okay. The get up. If you've got kids in youth athletics, let me teach them to get up. They need to add this to their arsenal of exercises to keep them healthy and more injury resistant. The get up is key, and doing it pretty will generally ensure a bit of athletic prowess or movement ability that other folks maybe don't have. And the way it works the body, especially in the shoulder girdle, builds really strong shoulders. So don't neglect your get-ups. And, you know, these high school and college kids that are in weight rooms all the time and whatnot, gymnastics even, the get-up would be something good to learn for everybody. All right. See you Christmas Eve. Same time, same channel.